so we're about to start. Sending email is high. Sending email as a programmer. Not sending email like the way my dad is saying it. So we're actually going to take a look at that. Thank you very much.
So, hi, my name is Rexford. I am a software engineer, and if I'm not flying drones, I'm basically writing code. I spend most of my time these days flying drones more than writing code. But then, I am a DigitalOcean navigator, which is a program we did a small presentation about it yesterday. But we contribute content onto the DigitalOcean platform, how to use deploy servers, how to manage a server, and other related stuff on getting started. Yeah, you are blocking. So I'm currently with a local organization, and we're using Python. We build an application to help detect fraud in some games here in the country. Anyway, today's presentation is about how to send emails using the function suite. So I'm sure we all know of function as a service. If you've not heard of function as a service before, you can raise your hand up. Okay, so it's a service where, just like we have infrastructure as a service or software as a service, what they call SaaS, this one is more of you can run functions and then you pay for it, so in the cloud. And one of the use cases that we want to take advantage of is using that kind of functions approach to set up an email server, where whenever we throw an email to an endpoint, it will automatically send it to whatever details you provided. That is primarily what we want to talk about quickly in this presentation. And we want to use, of course, DigitalOcean. It's a new service they've introduced, and we'll see how to do that using Python in this talk. So we will use it to send emails on demand by just hitting an endpoint where it provided payload. So the email, maybe the body of the email, the address you want to send it to, the subject, and stuff like that, and it will send it for us. DigitalOcean, we have a command line interface which we use to access DigitalOcean API, and through that we are able to create serverless functions which allows us to deploy our function as a service. So at this point, you basically need these to get started with this presentation. You need a DigitalOcean account, of course. You need to have the DOCTL also installed, and then we'll go ahead and clone a Python project to proceed. Basically, you need to be familiar with using the command line. Now, we are going to use the command line, but you can do it from the DigitalOcean dashboard. We'll get into that when we get to that point. To install the DigitalOcean command line, this is basically the steps. I don't know how clear it is to see, but these are the steps involved. You can quickly search online and install it on your terminal, and then authenticate it with your DigitalOcean account. By the way, if you want a DigitalOcean account and get maybe $100 credit to use for the next 2 months, you can get in touch, you will get to access. You get 2 months, that's 60 days, $100 to use on the platform to test and spin up whatever you would want to try out. If you enjoy it, then you can stay on. But then, yeah, this is how you install the DOCTL on the local machine, and that's what we'll be using to proceed with the presentation. Now, the project we want to clone is this, and so if you brought your laptop along and you would want to follow, this is the repository you can go and git clone it. this presentation is a bit more intermediary, so we're going to go over how to set up your Git or how to get Chrome. I am assuming we can do that. And so with that cloned up, we are going to jump into the we're going to jump right into code. And let me see if I can increase the font. You guys can see. Should I make the background white? Oh, this is fine. I should change to white. Yes, the UX designer is talking. Okay, how do I even change to white? I have no idea. Which one is better? The dark is better.
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's transparent. The edition is transparent.
Okay. Then.
The green background, green and yellow.
So with this, we can proceed to go over the repository that we've cloned. And this is pretty much how it looks like. We have a folder, and first of all, this is where the code is pulled from. This is the sample project. You can find it on GitHub. That is where the QR code takes you to. And the whole idea is we want to create a Python project which takes in requests, and then when the request hits it forwards whatever payload we sent, run something, and then return an output. In this case, you want to use it to send emails. Therefore, when you clone this repository, what we're basically getting is something like this. DigitalOcean functions come in what we call packages. And so every package is more of an app. You can think of it that way. In this case, this is our main app we have here. And we can quickly go through the code and basically takes in the arguments which refers to the payload you sent. In this case, maybe a JSON object with body, subject, to, which indicates respectively where you want to send the email to or the text to put in the email. We get all of that, which is what we can find here. If they are not provided, we respond accordingly. And then using SendGrid. So SendGrid, they provide API for sending emails. We want to put our functions into it and then use it to send emails. When we are able to send the email, we form a payload with a message, and then using SendGrid, we finally send the email. Depending on the response we get, we return it accordingly to whatever sent the request to the functions API. At this point, we have our code ready, which is ready to send emails. All we need to do now is to deploy it onto DigitalOcean. With a DOCTL, we can form a command like what you see on the screen, which is using the DOCTL. We call the serverless function, and then we deploy it. By deploying, we specify the folder which we want to deploy. The DOCTL will take that project and then deploy it accordingly onto the server. After deploying, we get something like this on DigitalOcean.
This is the machine.
And we can go into it to see the URL that is given us. Now, this is the namespace given, and we can see that from the browser. Okay, so that is the namespace. And then this is the function related to the namespace. If we want to make an API call to send an email at this point, this is the endpoint we'll be hitting. It's possible to see that from the dashboard as well, and then we have it here. So this is the URL that if we want to send email, we will use. At this point, we will want to test out our functions and see whether it's able to send emails. If we are to run it like this without any parameters, we should see from the output down here that it says no user email provided. This is because in the code we had at the top here, in the Python file, we are saying if there is no user, it should respond with no user email provided. So this part is what is it. From the arguments, we need a user to a user from. So we have the from, we have the to, the subject, and the contents. To quickly test it out, we can provide those details here. Let me see, that is what we have here. And then content is content accordingly. We can then save this parameter and then try running it to see if it works. Let's hope it works. Good. Now this error is suggesting there is some issue with the API endpoint regarding SendGrid. So you need to provide your API over here for SendGrid to be able to send it. When you look at the error message, this happening means there is a forbidden. It is possible that we are not able to pass in the .env file accordingly. So, there is environment variables here and the API key. So you pass in your API key get from SendGrid into this form, and that should allow you to send your emails through SendGrid to the end user you want to send the email to. In this case, the process of setting this up on DigitalOcean functions is simplified using the doctl if you are into command line. If you want to do this process also from the dashboard, it's possible to go through as well. But after setting up this server, you can continue to extend it with different functionality in terms of if you want to send an email as a registration or it's a password reset or whatever. That will be up to you in terms of how you want to configure your Python code to get it working. But fundamentally, this is how you set up your code on DigitalOcean functions and how to get it running. If you want to create the function from the dashboard as well, that is possible. You can use this drop down to do so, and then use it to create different functions. Functions are a way of delegating some logic, some form of logic to a third-party application to handle it. For example, when user uploads images, you want the conversion of the images to not happen on the server. You don't want to dedicate your system processes to it. You can write a function and let's say image converter or image processor where after the upload you send the image to an endpoint which is on let's say DigitalOcean functions, and that will handle the image processing for you, and the response or the return of it will go back to your application where you can then save it accordingly. So in a nutshell, that is how the DigitalOcean function works. If you want to get started to it, that is a quick high-level overview of how things work. If you'll be interested to get like deeper into how it works and actually deploy your application. There are a ton of documentation you can find on the DigitalOcean docs website. And so it's open. There are different quick starts, how-to guides on how to do it for Python, how to do it for Node.js, how to do it for, I think, Go. Tutorials. So depending on which programming language you're using, you're definitely going to find a startup guide that would help you. So that is pretty much how to get started with functions on DigitalOcean and sending emails. If you have any questions, you are happy to send them my way, and then if I can't answer them, I'll point you to the documentation.
Okay, thank you so much, Rexford. Yes, so we take one or two questions regarding the presentation, and then we move on to the next step. So, if you have a question, yes, there's someone at the back who has a question, so let me take the mic to him. Sorry.
Hi, thank you for your talk. So I'm just trying to get us to understand like the benefits of using the DO functions. So I wanted to know in what scenarios or why do we need to would we like to use something like DO functions if we can also in our code write our functions to send because this looks like a very simple function. Right, but in what scenarios would it be important for an application to consider using DO function rather than writing it in their own code?
Yeah, so in this case, that's actually a good question, and the use case for that would be when you have to handle a lot. Let's say a typical example would be sending a newsletter. Let's say you have 100,000 people in your newsletter list. Now, you can dedicate your system resources, which your users are using and are already, tracking your system, or you can delegate it to a third party. In that case, you can have, let's say, a newsletter function where when you're done with forming your newsletter and the design and everything, you just dump the request to a function like, let's say, on DigitalOcean functions, and then it will automatically run through and deliver all the emails for you, saving you from having to give that headache to your own system that you're running on. And these third-party services are pay as you go. So if you're done running your functions and you're done, you don't have to pay for it. So it's more like offsetting sometimes once in a while headache to somebody else so that your server and your system can have free time to test. Another thing is processing images or processing videos. They take a bit of time to process. So you upload a video, you send it to functions, and then your application can keep running peacefully. When the processing is done, it comes back and then you're ready to go. That's one use case you can. Yes, of course.
Yes, so let me, okay.
Yeah, so definitely it's not free.
Yes.
So you talk about the cost effectiveness of it. And normally I render HTML, CSS, and like whenever I send emails over, I render HTML and CSS. So I was just trying to look at that one. I think the main thing here is the mail, which is from the SendGrid helpers.mail. In the main project that you own, I realized it sends the mail from a package called mail, which is from the SendGrid thing. So normally, I don't know if you try those things like render HTML, CSS, like structuring the email, like
So yes. What you can do is that the SendGrid, the mail you mentioned, has the option to use an HTML template. In that case, instead of passing in the text, you would pass in an HTML template and then have maybe a template processor, like they call it Blade. They have Blade, I don't know if that's for PHP or Laravel or whatever. Yes, so you get that to kind of read the template, pass in whatever payload parameters you may have received, and send it in. A typical example would be for, let's say, registration. When you hit the endpoint on the function, you are giving details like the user you should send to, the content, and let's say the registration verification. Then you pass it through to the template, and then add it to the template you have on the file, process it. Then pass it into the SendGrid mail function, and then it will use that template and forward it accordingly. So you can go ahead to even use the same endpoint, but customize it in a way to handle different requests. User sign up, forgot email, whatever, change password, and then just be passing in the parameters as they come in and loading in the required template accordingly. So you can go ahead to extend it as much as you want, depending on your needs. This is very bone use case of functions, getting it up and running. The advantage is you set it up, you test it, it works, you go to bed, forget about it. Yes, so the cost of DigitalOcean function, 90,000 gigabyte seconds of compute is free per month per account. Explain. So I wish that they have this. It's normally used in rendering. They call it compute time or GPU time. It's different from the normal seconds and hours we use. I think one compute time, 1 hour compute time is some number of hours. So what is important is that you get some seconds for free. Depending on the task you are running, if you are sending emails like these ones, I don't think you will ever go over your quota. But if you're running services like maybe you have to process a video. In that case, if it takes, let's say, 10 minutes to process a single video, then it's going to count towards your number of seconds that you let me see if I can quickly do research. I don't know why I'm trying to. So, bottom line is you get some seconds for free for every month, and then immediately you pay, you go above that, you just pay per use, pretty much. And this quota, I think, is a lot for any startup or any business, whatever you're trying to do with this. Unless you start doing something heavy, then it's in that case, paying for it is no big deal. So yeah, there's if you want to get $100 credit to use on DigitalOcean for 60 days, you can get in touch with us. We'll get you your credits, and then you can pay on DigitalOcean as much as you want. That is how I started. I got the credit. I enjoyed using the service. When the period was over, I was hooked in, and so they started getting me, and I've been there for the past like 7 years or so. But then the platform is easy to use, and so it's easy to get started. You can definitely take it for a ride. For many developers and startups, it's a great option for getting your application into the cloud as quick as possible. I started DigitalOcean simply because it was easier to use, but then DigitalOcean made it easier for me to spin up a project, and then I've been using it since. It's easy to get started, but then if you want to scale with it as well, they have all the bells and whistles Kubernetes and Docker registry, all those container stuff, you can also get access to it. KhoPhi, do you have a question? Yeah, so yes. Yeah, you can come from.
Alright, so I wanted to ask, it looks like a function of the service, kind of, but I didn't see you upload did you upload the function like the DigitalOcean, or you use any space to connect them? So I'm looking for the correlation between the code in the CSS code and the code, so how are you connected?
Basically, what happens with that is when you deploy it using the what do you call it, the DOCTL, what happens is this bundles up your code on your local machine and takes it to the DigitalOcean server. So it runs this code on DigitalOcean. And therefore, if you want to update it or whatever, you just run the same code. It will take the local changes, the latest one, push it to the server, run it there, and then it takes it there from there. Pretty much, you don't have to do anything else. As long as you get it running, like any update, you push it up there. Then when you put it up there, this is where you are able to quickly test it out with the parameters to see if like whatever changes you did is working as expected, and then you pass in this payload quickly to see if like it's actually working. And then when this works, we know that when people hit the endpoint with the right values, it just goes.
Okay, so thank you very much, Rexford. Please a round of applause for Rexford. Alright, so the next gentleman who is coming to do an amazing thing in the area of Internet of Things, similar to what the previous speaker talked about. But before he comes, we will give our media like 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes basically to do some interview. After that, then we have our next light talk speaker coming here to talk about IoT. After that, we will all move outside to the various booths, and there's an exhibition going on there. They are all sort of like infant, including the IoT, and then we'll turn to. So you go out there and see what they have, and yeah, thank you very much.